check engine lights on. Still there, still an engine. Yeah guys, build's over. Just cooked the motor. Proudly supported by Superior Engineering and Diesel Conversions Australia.
Right, welcome back to Roam Life. Today, what we are doing is getting this patrol ready for the dyno run. Now, in the last episode, if you missed it, we've got this thing back from Matt at King Fab Customs, and he has done all the fabrication work to do with this conversion and is this close to being finished and ready for the dyno. But today, we've got a few things to tidy up, including some wiring and a few other bits and pieces. Now, one thing I'm really not happy with at the moment is all of the wiring. Now, this was a little bit of a slap together job just to get this thing running, but we have about 5 or 6 wires going to this positive terminal, and it just makes it look really messy. So I want to tidy that up. And that is where this box here comes in. Now, I just got this from a battery shop. It is called a Gang Bus MIDI fuse holder if you are chasing one yourself. And what it basically does is houses 5 fuses. Now, the real benefit that we are seeing here is that we can actually put 5 wires into this thing and only have 1 wire going to the battery. So it's really going to tidy a lot of stuff up. We also get the benefit of having a fuse on every single wire, which some of them are actually not fused yet. Now, over on this stainless steel plate from All Good Off-Road, we have a little section that I am thinking I can mount that box in right about there. And that is really going to tidy everything up because we can have these wires going into the bum of it and only 1 big wire coming out to the positive terminal. So there's definitely a few other things to do, but I'm really excited to tidy this one up. So I'm going to start doing that now, tidy that up, and then we can move on to the next job. Right, now that box is all mounted up. Just use some self-tappers just because it's easy. Now, we've got about 6 wires here that we need to basically shorten and put onto fuses. One of them is a starter motor wire, which is actually probably going to run straight to the battery at the moment because I don't have a mega fuse for it. But the rest of these guys can all get fused, shortened up, neatened up. Hopefully we don't have a mess like this when we're finished and it looks all nice and tidy. Right, I got the start of this thing just about tidied up. I've shortened up all these wires and got them into the situation that they're going to be staying. You can already see how much neater this is going to look when everything's done up. Now, I can manage to sneak the starter wire and the alternator wire straight to the battery coming up over this way, so they're going to kind of sit on the terminal like that. I still got to make a fat lead to go from there to the battery terminal as well, but I won't make that until I've got the battery back in. But I'm also tidying up all the wiring that I just kind of had laying in here going to this fuse block here. You can see even a couple of them weren't crimped right, they pulled out. That's because my crimpers failed, but I did buy a new one, so we're ready to go and re-crimp all that. So I've got to tidy up all that spaghetti mess. We've also got some lines here for the window washers that I want to try and hide somewhere. Yeah, making good progress, and I'm very happy with how that looks. Where's the lid? Because I can quickly whack that on. Where did I put the lid? Where did I put it? Right, and with the lid, that will sit on like that. You can see how much tidier that is actually going to look. So very happy with that. I now need to tidy up all the rest of these wires. I also haven't wired in the thermo fans yet, something that I've been meaning to do, so I'll probably wire them in now, and that way we are basically just done with the wiring. Right, I've still got the cover off, but I wanted to show you how the fuses look. Now, I've quickly made this up. This is a winch wire, so I'm pretty certain this is going to be more than capable of handling all the juice that everything is sucking, but you can see I've got a whole different array of fuses there. So that has tidied up the battery a lot more. Now, this cover here will just sit on like this, hopefully. Now the cover's not exactly sitting flat because the wire at the back there is a little bit too fat for it, so I've got to modify it, but that's what it will look like with the cover on. I might try and modify this bit real quick and make it a little bit fatter so I can actually put that on and check it out. So I'm going to do that quick. Right, a little bit of choppy and I've managed to make the top cover fit. Actually quite like that. I think that's turned out really good. If you are wanting one of these, I did just buy this. I think it was 80 bucks from Battery Wise, I think it was, but I'm sure you can find something similar on eBay or something like that. That looks bloody so much neater. I might even overlay a before and after shot real quick for you guys. Right, now I'm gonna quickly wire up these thermo fans, and Harry actually just got here in the bogan bus, so probably gonna just wire that up. I want to show him the car. He hasn't been in it yet and heard it. So I want to show him what it sounds like, get his reaction. So I'll quickly wire up those fans, then we can actually take it for a decent drive because the fans will kick in, cool the motor down. So let's do that. It's bloody too nice to be in the shed anyway. So let's get out of the shed and take this thing for a drive. All right, got the fans wired up. So I'm going to take this thing for a drive and show Harrison here how she bloody rumbles.
Let's get into it.
You excited to see it?
Yeah, mate, I'm bloody stoked.
Yeah, me too, mate, yeah.
I just wired all this up for Tom. You probably saw my hands in the video and shit.
Right, we're gonna take it for a spin. Harry's gonna do a little bit of filming for me. Hopefully the fans kick in, but yeah. Love looking at this thing now with the twins on it. Looks bloody mint. Let's back her out, take it for a ripperoni. Check engine lights on. Still there, still an engine. Good to go. Right, gonna take Harry for a little spin.
Let's do it.
See to get your reaction.
What's this, 400 horsepower?
It's about 398.
Oh.
It's that extreme valve body shift.
That's good. Smooth.
Hell, see how quick the gear changes are too? It's like boom,
Yeah,
boom.
that's good.
Where before it like lag with the other valve body.
That's gangster.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's got a good power, just for stock.
That was like 1% throttle. Longest drive I've been on.
Is it?
Yeah.
You nervous?
The Thames getting to 71, that's the hottest. Well, no, we had it at 80 actually.
It's only gone up 11 degrees since we got in.
Yeah. It actually cruises hell nice though, ain't it?
Yeah, this is 79 series.
Drives so freaking good. It's definitely the longest drive it's been on. It just drives so nice. I think the wastegate's at 14 PSI because it won't go above that, which is, I mean, that's good for now, but later on that's not going to be any good. Yeah guys, build's over. Just cooked the motor.
Can't leave you the fuck.
Guys, this bloody Patrol, man, it drives so bloody good. I'm stoked with it. Temps are perfect, fans are cutting in and out. What else? Trans temps are good. Trans shifts really like, I don't even know what the right word is, but it just goes really quick, really firm, and it feels just like solid. That's the right word for it, solid. Right, it's the next day and there's still a few things that I want to get done on this Patrol. Now, yesterday driving with Harry, we got back. The heat wrap was smoking a heck of a lot just because I've spilt a lot of oil on it. So I was just burning off the oil, so we let that happen. But one thing I noticed is that even though it's heat wrap, there's still a little bit of heat transfer onto the brake line. So I want to make a little heat shield up just to stop any heat soaking on the brakes, basically. Now, I've basically just got this little bit of aluminium from car builders at Autobahn. Now, I'm going to cut this up and I'm thinking that it'll go down sort of vertically like this, and I'll just put a fold in it somewhere and we'll have it sort of tucked in on an angle there. This will help a lot with heat transfer. These heat shields are really good. I'll try and put a fold in this somehow. That looks pretty good. Try and get this in, it's gonna be very difficult, but I'll just get my hand in the right bloody spot. I'm painting this thing black, eh? It looks weird silver. Right, heat shield is painted up, so I'm just gonna quickly whack her in now. Say quickly, but it's probably gonna take me an hour. Definitely isn't the best way to mount a heat shield, but as long as we get no rattles, I'll be happy. I think that's pretty good. Right, that's the heat shield, guys. I think that is pretty good. Now, the only thing I don't know is if this is gonna rattle too much. I can put a techie down there, but I don't have an extension here, so I'll have to go buy an extension, which I can do another day, but I think it definitely looks a lot better black. I don't know what you guys think, but just kind of hides it there so you can't really tell that there is a heat shield at all. I'm gonna quickly fire it up and see how much it moves, but pretty happy with that. I think that's pretty good. It's literally not even moving at all, so lock that one in, Eddie. God, I'm pretty stoked with how this thing runs, eh? So smooth. Nice and quiet too, especially for having plus 30s in it. The thing just isn't making much noise at all, which I'm stoked about. Oh yeah, that runs pretty good, man. Right, so I've actually done a heck of a lot of work in the interior. I had to put the camera down for a bit because it's a little bit hard to film in here. Basically under here, there was a whole heap of wires from the locker, and also the trans computer is tucked under here. So I've buttoned all that up, put the cover back on. Now I've also gone ahead and mounted up a little LED light there. Now what that is the overdrive lights. So with the CompuShift, you actually have to go into this shifter here and disconnect this button to make it a momentary on. So it actually doesn't click anymore. It's basically just a on or off. Now that light will come on and off as I press this on to let me know if I'm in overdrive or not. Now the lockup switch is meant to go here, but Wholesale Autos accidentally sent me the wrong one, so I'm just waiting on that. So I got the wires pulled through. Now the other thing with the CompuShift is the screen up here. Now what I've done with that is I've actually just mounted it on some Velcro circle things, so they just stick on like that. I use these things all the time when I'm doing builds. I'll just turn the ignition on so you can see, but it all lights up. It's nice and readable from this position here. You can see I've got a fair bit going on here. I've got gauges, I've got buttons. You get the point. I've mounted it up there just so I can keep an eye on everything, because we have like temp, what gear we're in, a tacho. We can actually go ahead and change the main gauge as well. We can go to tack or to temperature, to speed. So if you were going up the beach or something, you just leave it on temp, and then you can actually just turn around and get a really good look at your temperature. It is something that I really want to keep an eye on, is looking after this transmission. Now the other thing is this button here, you can see that light turning on and off, which means that that is working, which is great. Now the only other thing that I need to fix that I know of is actually the power steering leak, which is that hose down there. I am going to pull that off and take it back to the bloke who made it. He's going to fix it up because I think it's something wrong with the seat. I have also gone ahead and ordered the fittings to delete this, so we can actually plug straight onto the condenser there with a hose, and I can run it under Matt's nice airbox here, and we can go up to the compressor there. So that'll tidy up that fitting a lot, because I reckon that looks silly. Once that power steering leak is fixed, we are ready for a tune. Very excited for the tune, guys. It's going to be awesome to see this on the dyno. I'm a little bit nervous, but driving it around yesterday, it feels solid. I'm pretty confident that we're not going to get any issues on the dyno, but you never know with these sort of things. I know this probably was a little bit of a shortened episode, but I really just wanted to get a video out there. I really want to start uploading on time and on schedule again. It's been a little bit hectic lately. Most videos are taking me 2 or 3 days to film, so that's why it gets pushed back a little bit, but I want to get back on schedule. We have obviously the tune coming up, which is probably the most exciting video that I'll ever make. I actually can't wait for that. Hopefully she puts down good numbers. Hopefully the motor survives. Hopefully everything goes to plan. I will be driving it there, so I'm going to take you guys along. We're going to vlog the whole trip, vlog the dyno. Now we can relax a little bit. There's not too much more to do. I'll fix that power steering leak, then we'll see you guys on the dyno. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys then. Peace out. Be good. See you later.